Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
And welcome to episode 3 of Our Adventures and Mousecapades.
Yeah. So these are going a little longer than we thought they would.
We like to talk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But hopefully it's interesting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to pick up where we left off, which was our very first Disney trip. And we had spent 4 amazing days in the parks. And we had one more morning in the parks and then a 3-day cruise. And so that's what we're going to talk through today and share a few lessons learned for first-time cruisers that, holy cow, we wish we had known before.
Yep.
I guess let's just jump right in.
Yeah. So this is September of 2009. This is our first Disney family trip. It was a land and sea trip vacation. So bundle. Yes, it was a package from Disney. Package deal.
Yep.
And we were looking through our pictures and trying to figure out something. I don't know if they still do this or how this worked, but we actually went to a park before we got on the ship.
Yes, same day.
Which I don't know how that worked.
I don't either. I think that maybe the embarkation was later.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or something.
Now, I say we went to a park, but we had breakfast at a park.
Yes. We didn't do any rides.
But we walked around a little bit before we left.
Yeah. I don't know. This may be apocryphal, but my memory, poor as it is, kind of says that we had breakfast at Tusker House in Animal Kingdom in the park. And it was a character breakfast, and it was amazing. And we had a pre-park open reservation. Like we had like a 7:30 in the morning reservation. And I don't know that we had park tickets for that day. I kind of remember that we could go to the reservation because we had a reservation. I don't know. Like, again, this is poor memory.
Yeah, and I don't know. We're trying to figure stuff out through our pictures, what the timeline was. Well, let's just talk about what we have in our pictures right now. So we started out at Tusker House restaurant for their character breakfast, which is my favorite character breakfast.
Right.
I love the outfits that the characters have.
It's a safari breakfast with Mickey, Minnie,
Donald, Daisy, sometimes and Goofy.
Yes. And my parents were with us on this trip, and I have never seen my mom so giddy and childlike as she was when Donald came around to our table for character breakfast, and then when Goofy came around to our table for character breakfast.
Yep.
Holy cow. The smile on her face is incredible.
The nice thing about this buffet is that it's not just your typical Disney buffet
right.
either. I mean, it has your staples. It has your Mickey waffles. It has eggs, bacon, all that good stuff. But it also has some food with an African flair.
Right.
I don't know the names of any of it, but it's yummy.
Right. Like the bread, it has the like zebra bread. And
yeah.
It was so good. It had pog juice.
Oh, it's called Jungle Juice here.
Okay. It's pog juice. Rebranded
pog juice. Now, and I don't know if they had it at the time, but I know that now they have Simba waffles as well as Mickey waffles.
That's right.
Here. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'd had that either.
Didn't pay attention. I don't know, but it was yummy.
This was before the days where people took pictures of their food. Yes,
this is true. Yeah. There are no pictures of our food.
No, that wasn't a thing back then.
No, it wasn't a thing.
Hashtag we're old.
Yes. Seeing all the characters was great. Like I said, I love their safari outfits. We had good breakfast.
Yeah, we had fun.
Oh, Daisy was there.
Daisy was there.
There's my Daisy.
Yeah. We're just kind of scrolling through pictures on the iPad here.
Just to help with our with our memory.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
So we had our breakfast there. Then we went on and we walked around the park a little bit. We didn't go on any rides. I remember, I don't know if it was the same day or not, but we went to an area where like Camp Mickey Minnie.
Yes.
Is that still around?
I don't remember. It's kind of on that. It's everything that we're talking about is to the left.
Yeah.
As you go in. Today it would be
Pandora.
Walking towards Pandora.
Yeah.
Was this where Pandora is?
I do not know.
I don't remember.
Us not pulling out a map again. Shame on us. Anyway, we went to Camp Mickey Minnie and we were just sitting around, just chilling.
We had some time to kill.
That's what it was.
And because whatever the arrangements were for getting the shuttle bus down to the port, we didn't need to, it was probably leaving at 11 o'clock or something like that. Again, we had a 7:30 reservation, so we had a little bit of time. And so we were just kind of taking in the sights and the sounds, and, there's a little, I don't know, kind of a little nature walk. We met Chip and Dale. Yeah,
they're over at Camp Mickey Minnie.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And we saw Minnie.
That's Max. No, it is Minnie.
Sorry, Minnie. We saw Minnie in her, it's like a different safari outfit.
Yes. How did she get from?
Oh, she's fast.
Okay. Got it.
There's a cast member just walking around with a guitar and a mic and amp, making up songs.
Yeah. And so we were sitting on a bench and just kind of doing a little people watching, as we'd like to do. Mm-hmm. And this gentleman came up and kind of struck up a conversation and asked Caitlin what her name was and where she was from and how old she was and a couple other little icebreaker. What do you like, or who's your favorite character, kind of thing. And then on the spot, he improvised a little song.
Yeah, he made up a song about Caitlin.
And it was so amazing. It was so, my mom to this day is still like, enamored with that song and that cast member for doing that. Again, we talked about it last time. We will probably talk about it in every episode. Cast members create magic.
Yes.
Be kind to your cast members.
Let them know how appreciated they are.
Absolutely. And even in tough situations, like, look, things are going to go wrong. You're going to forget something, or a ride's going to be broken, or whatever. But having a positive attitude and being appreciative of the cast members and their time, and cast members are people too. Yeah. But just showing them some love, genuinely inquiring, like, how are you doing today? Or things like that. It will pay off.
We have had wonderful conversations with cast members, just chatting with them. Right. There's a lot of people that just don't do that.
They don't interact.
Yeah. And it's always important to do that.
Absolutely. Because then things happen like, you're talking to a cast member on the train at Disneyland and he says, hey, do you want to go get a private tour of the Lily Bell?
Yeah.
Yes. Which is Walt's private caboose that he had on the train.
Just talk to the cast members. Strike up a conversation. Now, not if they are very, very busy looking, because that happens too.
Right.
But if they're just kind of standing around and it's not a busy time, talk with them. See what's going on. See what their favorite part of the day has been.
And don't expect
stuff.
Something to happen.
No.
Go in there to have an honest conversation. If Tinkerbell shows up and pixie dust happens, that's a bonus.
Yes.
But don't go in expecting pixie dust to happen, because that's not magical.
No. Pixie dust, for those of you that don't know, is something unexpected and magical happening. We've actually had a fair amount of pixie dust happen to our family.
Yeah.
We can talk about those later as well.
Stay tuned. There's a teaser.
As they come, we'll talk about them. There have been many over the years.
There have.
So we were talking about the song. This cast member doing a wonderful song for Caitlin,
Yes.
and she loved it.
Yes.
She got little blushes on her cheeks, but it was a lot of fun.
Yep. Oh, look, my dad took a picture of some Disney ducks.
What?
I know.
What are Disney ducks?
Oh, Disney ducks. Okay. There are ducks all around the parks. These are not, and ironically, these were at Animal Kingdom, but they're not like an exhibit. They're just ducks that live around Disney World, and they swim in the ponds and they eat your popcorn.
They're not supposed to eat your popcorn.
They're not. Okay. But
You're not supposed to give them your food.
sometimes popcorn accidentally falls.
Sometimes it falls, but don't feed the ducks.
Don't feed the ducks.
But they are so cute.
Yes. The ducks have followings.
The ducks have followings.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, we just had a magical little morning in the parks, and then we, went back to our hotel and got on the shuttle bus, and
40-minute. How long is the ride?
that's longer than that. I think it's like an hour and a half ish.
Down to Port Canaveral.
Yep.
We went into the cruise terminal down there, had our name called,
Yes.
walked into the very first welcome to the Novak family.
Yes. As you walk in on the ship, into the atrium, they announce your family, and then
Disney Wonder, please welcome.
that's right.
Yes.
The Novak family.
Yes.
Yeah. That was cool.
And we were hooked from that moment on. Pretty close.
Yeah. No, but yeah. I will say, I can't remember if it was that night, but I'm pretty sure the next day we both looked at each other and said, okay, we're doing this again.
Yeah. We were very unsure about cruising.
Yes.
I was worried about seasickness.
Yeah.
For some reason. Motion sickness. Because I don't know. I don't know if I have a tendency to get motion sick or what.
I think we didn't know. And some people do and some people don't. And we just didn't have we
weren't
didn't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons we did a much shorter cruise this go round.
So we had a 3-night cruise. It went from Port Canaveral, and then it spent the next day in Nassau, Bahama, and then spent the second full day at Castaway Cay. Yeah. Also which is Disney's private island in the Bahamas. And then home the next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Port Canaveral.
Yeah. So first day, we get on board. They announce the family. We're, looking around the atrium of the ship in wonder, at the Wonder.
This is the heads this huge grand Dale Chihuly designed chandelier.
And it's so pretty in there.
Yeah.
Just the Art Deco look. And we didn't know what to do. We're like, okay, what do we do now? Just walk around. They had the sail away party after you do the lifeboat thing.
Muster drill. Yep. Which we don't have to do anymore.
No.
Which is
We'll
cool.
see if that changes or not.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
So we did.
But we digress.
Yeah. We went to the sail away party, which was a lot of fun, yelling and dancing and jumping, and the characters come out and everybody welcomes you. You have all the dances, I don't know if it was happening then or not. The cha-cha slide, that may have been a little later, but
I was not doing the cha-cha slide.
No.
No.
Sail away party was fun. Do we know what our first restaurant was?
I don't remember.
I remember we went and looked at the kids clubs because they have open houses the first time or the first day that you are on the ship.
Right.
They open up the kids clubs for parents and kids to come take a look and see this is where you will be if you want to be here. And Caitlin was very ready. Like she wanted to go in there. We weren't sure if she would or not.
Yeah.
She wanted to be in there. But she didn't go in that night because it was just open house
right.
stuff. That night was the Golden Mickeys.
Yes. Which is one of the classic Disney Cruise Line shows.
Think of the Emmys, or the Golden Globes.
Globes. Jeez.
But for Disney. So the Golden Mickeys, where they have oh gosh, it's been
this
so long.
This is a variety stage show.
It's a variety stage show, yeah.
Right. So the way Disney Cruise Line works is there are 2 seatings for dinner. You either have the first seating at dinner or the second seating. And at the first seating, while you're at the first seating having your food, the stage show, the evening performance is happening for the folks who have second seating of dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they swap.
Basically 2 hours later. I think it was at 5:30 and 7:30 or 5:30 or something along those lines. So we had dinner and then we went to the Golden Miggies.
Yes.
And yeah, that was amazing. I don't know what we were expecting on the cruise. I don't think we went in with really any expectations. We didn't have
any expectations. Which is very different from what we do now. We didn't do any research really ahead of time.
Yeah.
We're just like, we'll enjoy it, whatever. Sure.
We'll just wing it.
Yeah, that is very much changed on how we do our vacations now.
Yes.
We plan a lot.
Now, to be fair, we also leave a ton of room for whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
No, we know the things we want to go do. We know the things we want to go see, and we do those things, and then whatever else happens.
Right. We give a lot of room for I don't want to say that we plan our spontaneity, but we just, we have a broad brush idea of what we kind of want to do and some of the things that we want to do.
Yep.
And most of the time, those are the things that we do.
Yep.
But if they don't, for whatever reason, we just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And boy, howdy, have we met some incredible people and had some incredible experiences by just going with the flow.
Yes.
So that was first day. We got a a sea turtle in the towel character in the room. Yeah, we did.
The first night was a.
Oh, excuse me. It was a dog. So the you're saying I should read the show notes that I
know.
Okay.
Yes. The first night we had a dog towel animal and they put Caitlin's sunglasses on it.
Yes.
I love the animals that they put out.
Yes.
All the different kinds. It's so fun to see them every night. I have a note here that Caitlin passed out on the way back to the room after the show.
Caitlin never, if we were moving Caitlin, she was awake. She was never.
That's right.
Now she slept amazingly well as a kid. She slept through the night early. She was doing multi-hour, multiple naps.
Yeah.
For a long time. Anyhow, but if we were moving her from the car or whatever, she was always awake. And on this instance, I have a picture in here of Caitlin completely just zonked out in Alicia's arms, her head's on her shoulder as we're walking back to the room.
Yes, she was out.
She was gone. It was a long day. I mean, we had a Broadway show. She had a safari breakfast. She had a song sung to her. It was a long day. There was a lot going on.
And transportation. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then the next day, we arrived at Nassau and the Bahamas. It was kind of a cloudy-ish day. I think there were some showers around in the morning.
Perfect day for redheads.
Yes, exactly.
I am a redhead.
Exactly.
Caitlin's a redhead. Sterling's a redhead. Gingers rule.
I have red in my beard.
You do?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have redhead family, extended family, and I can be cool too, right?
I win.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. As always, dear.
Yes. So our second day was at Nassau, and we did a little garden and city tour.
Yes, the Estrada Garden and City Tour, which I think is still on the itinerary when, boats are allowed to disembark in Nassau.
Yeah. It's your typical city tour.
We weren't super enamored with Nassau.
And just seeing what other people are saying, there's a lot of people that stay on the boat in Nassau.
Yes.
Don't even get off the boat or the ship. My apologies.
Yes. And I frankly, as we go on new cruises or additional cruises in the future, I don't see us getting off the ship in Nassau. There's just nothing that's really.
If you've never gone,
it's
get
worth
off
going.
The ship.
Yes.
And take a look around. Find an excursion that Disney offers that sounds interesting and take it.
Or go do a little shopping. Or
there's that little shopping market. I forget what they're called. The bazaar right around there too. I know there's probably local tour guides that you can talk to as well. We did our thing there, and I don't know that we'll we'll do it again.
No. I mean, and you could go over to Atlantis.
Caitlin and I did that for her 13th, and when I get to that, I'll bring her down and we'll talk about it a little too. I know some people absolutely love Atlantis.
Right.
The water park aspect of it. We didn't.
Yeah. And again, like, we're different people from what you may be.
Your mileage may vary. That may be your total cup of tea. It looks like a lot of fun. I'll say that. It looks like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're not super adventurous, outgoing, action, vacation kind of people.
Nope.
So
we're simple folk.
We are simple folk.
We like nice stuff and simple things.
Yep.
The tour that we did do had a portion in a zoo area.
It was like an aviary.
And I love birds.
Yes.
I have always loved birds. I had parakeets when I was little, and in high school I had a bird. Nathan and I got a bird before we got married that we had to rehome because once we had Caitlin, the bird turned
ornery.
Yes. She wanted to bite everything very hard.
Yes. She was a Quaker parrot.
Dizzy was her name.
Yep.
Anyway, I love birds, and going to this little tour here was really fun. They had a whole bunch of flamingos, and I got to stand in the middle of a flock of flamingos, a flamboyance of flamingos, if you will.
Yes.
And I got to stand in the middle of them, and I put my leg up like a flamingo, and they came around me, and they put their legs up too, and it was really fun. I really liked that. It seems really cheesy and corny, but I had a blast.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
And I think as we have more of these conversations and tell more of these stories, that's kind of what we go for.
Is experience.
Is an experience.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily going to buy the stuff. Now,
although we do that too, but yeah.
I mean, it's more about having an experience. And if we have amazing experiences, sometimes we'll do them again.
Yeah.
But again,
this was fun, and we have some great pictures and great memories of it. And I know we have a picture here somewhere with Mom and in the macaw and the cockatoo.
Yes.
I remember we were walking back, and then one of the staff there just kind of grabbed her and said, "Hey, come here," and then put a macaw on her and a cockatoo on her and said, "Smile."
Yes.
And I was jealous, even though I had just stood with the flamingos.
Yes. And so you got to hold the cockatoo, I think it was, in subsequent pictures. Of course, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, that was $20 or whatever it was."
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. Like, to me, our opinion, Nassau is almost is kind of the stereotypical, not just tourist trap kind of stuff, but aggressively trapping tourists to a certain degree. I don't know. Again, we haven't gone in a while, but I do remember somebody, maybe it was a cast member on the ship, said, "Be sure to say no if you don't want something. There are going to be people out there saying, 'Hey, you want me to braid your hair? Do you want to do this? You want to do that?' Say no. Do not be afraid to say no." There are some very pushy.
Aggressive.
They're pushy. They're
pushy.
Aggressive. Yeah. And that's not.
But, I mean, it's a touristy area. You'll get that anywhere you go. That's a touristy area.
It just felt more that way. I mean, we've been in other touristy destinations, and that one felt the most overt.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And I think to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was fun. We had a good day.
Where did we have dinner that night? I wonder.
Oh, I don't know if I can tell from this picture.
Okay, so the restaurants at the time were Triton's. Is it Triton's?
Yes.
Triton's, Animator's Palette, and
which was not anything like it is today.
Parrot Key.
Yes.
Which is buffet style, right? No.
Parrot Key was buffet for breakfast, but it was the full service for dinner.
Yeah. It is not Parrot Key anymore.
No.
That is Tiana's now.
Yes. Which is also nice.
Yeah, Parrot Key was nice though. It was fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Towel animal that night was a seal.
Yes. Ish.
Ish?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that what that's a seal?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a seal.
What would you call it?
I think that's a dog. What was the first one? It was an animal of
there were no
like
sunglasses.
towel. No sunglasses.
No
on that
sunglasses.
one. Nope.
All right. Well,
It was some sort of zoological origami from towels.
zoological
Towelagami.
towelagami.
Sorry.
There you
Yes.
go. Yeah, it was a thing. I don't know. I just
And
work here.
Our last day
Yes.
on the Wonder was at Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island. And this was great. You know,
Yeah.
day on the beach.
Yeah. We were East Coasters up until, well, we've both spent a good amount of our lives in the East Coast. And I say that to mean like a beach out here on the Pacific coast is typically cold, typically rocky,
Yes.
very windy.
Yes.
This was a good beach day. It was fun.
Yeah.
You know, we really, really enjoyed it. We don't have a ton of pictures from that day because I don't think neither my dad nor myself really wanted to take nice cameras out in the
On
sand.
the sand, yeah.
Um,
But we did get to see the Flying Dutchman from
Yes.
the Pirates of the Caribbean. They used to have the Flying Dutchman at Castaway.
Yes.
Like the actual
From the
Flying
movie.
Dutchman from the movie.
That was cool.
It was there. It was really neat. They do not have it anymore because it started to deteriorate.
Yes.
Just from the weather and the salt water.
Yep.
It just
I think it was still we were still in the middle of them making those movies. I think it was removed for a while to film another movie,
and then brought
then
back.
it came back.
Yeah.
And then I think it started to deteriorate. Again, the great knowledge box in the sky, Google
Would
or
know,
Bing,
yeah.
your favorite search engine of choice, would know when, what that timeline is. And then, and so we had a fantastic day there. And then we found what I think is our favorite place on the Wonder, which doesn't exist anymore.
There was a secret deck.
Yes. And we just stumbled on it.
Yes, we just stumbled. We were just exploring the ship, I guess.
Yeah.
We were leaving Castaway, and
Yes.
we were trying to see if we could get a good view of leaving the island.
Right. And we didn't want to, for whatever reason, we didn't want to go up on the top deck.
Yeah.
And we stumbled across this secret deck. Those of you in the know what I'm talking about, on deck 7, in the very back of the boat, the very stern of the ship. And it was huge. I mean, it was like a tennis court size.
Yeah.
That was out there.
Lots of room back there.
And we were the only people there.
Nobody else.
It was fantastic. And so, we had a great time joking around with my parents. In fact, one of my favorite pictures of my dad was taken there, of him just like absolutely laughing his head off. And we watched him cast off the lines and
Waved at the people on the
Yep.
on the dock and
watched the ship pull away.
Yeah.
Well, not watch the ship pull away. We were on the ship. We watched the land recede.
yes.
It was so fun. It was so fun.
And we had a sea turtle towel animal.
Yes.
That night.
I got that one right. See? Turtle.
Are the chocolates?
See?
Those chocolates, the old chocolates that they had were the ones wrapped in. It was one of the 7 dwarves.
Oh, you're wanting me to zoom in on this? I can zoom in on this.
I remember. So they give you chocolates.
Sleepy.
It was, oh, that makes sense. I was thinking that. Yeah. So they give you chocolates with your towel animal as a little turn down service. It used to be Little Sleepy from 7 Dwarfs chocolates.
Yep.
Then they went to Ghirardelli chocolates, and now they have moved on to Dove chocolates. We have not yet been on the ship with the Dove chocolates.
But we will.
Yes. I'm fairly certain I still have a couple of the Ghirardelli chocolates because I'm a hoarder like that. So
And then somehow we had 2.
it's because your folks were in a different stateroom.
Oh, that's right.
They got a lobster.
They got a lobster.
Whoa.
Yes. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Why we got 2. So,
I think we just want to take a picture of it because it was cool.
Yes.
It just looks so neat.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we got off the ship,
Yes.
we had booked another
cruise. Yes.
for the following December,
Yep.
a week long this time, because we knew we wanted to be on the ship for a longer amount of time.
Yep.
A couple of things that we learned that
Yes.
we didn't know about.
Lessons
Yes.
learned for ye who are the new to Disney Cruise
Yes.
Line traveler.
You can leave your kid in the kids club from whenever they open till whenever they close.
Now, disclaimer, during the fun times that we're in now with the pandemic,
Yes.
there's all sorts of scheduling restrictions. You have to book a
Yeah.
time slot, and you can only do for so long a day. But back in the day, you could really check in your
Yeah.
kid in the morning, and then they'll take care of lunch. If you wanted to, they'd go take care of dinner.
Yeah.
I think
we had no idea. We went
No.
to go pick her up one day for lunch.
it was on Castaway.
Was it?
Yeah. We went and got her for lunch at Castaway. They're like, oh, we would have taken her to lunch. Or maybe
No,
that was the next cruise.
There was another day we went up to go get her and she wasn't in the club. And we're like,
yeah.
where is she?
The club
Oh,
was empty.
yes, the club was empty. They're like, oh, they're up in cabanas getting lunch. Like, oh, I did not know you fed them. So they will feed your child.
Yes.
They will, of course, if your child wants to leave the club, they will let you know.
Yes.
They'll say, come get your child, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that's something we didn't know.
Yeah.
You can leave your child there. You don't have to pick them up for food unless they want to have lunch with you, of course.
Like they'll page you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if it gets bad, they'll page you.
The other thing that you can do is you can put a placeholder down for
Right.
another cruise. You do not have to say, oh, I want to take a cruise on this date and time. You can put a placeholder down. This is basically just reserving a future cruise.
Right. And we didn't know that, which is why we actually booked a specific cruise.
Yeah.
Now, arguably, we knew we wanted to do a cruise, and like I think it all worked out. Like we didn't have a placeholder, it wasn't a big problem. But I would recommend if you're not, if you don't know exactly when you want to cruise, but you're going to cruise again in the next, was it 2 years?
2 years, yeah. You have to cruise within 2 years.
Right. Book a placeholder, and it's a few $100s down or whatever. Like you're not paying a ton of money.
Yeah.
You're getting this is a bit of a discount, isn't it?
It has changed quite a bit. I know it was a discount on the deposit.
Okay.
It changes from time to time. They will change how they do the placeholders. I think at the time it was like 10% off deposit and $250 or something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's going to change. Just check in with them whenever you do it. But I do highly recommend putting a placeholder down.
Right.
When
Because
you're on a cruise.
you do there is a bit of a discount. I mean, and let's just call a spade a spade. Like Disney Cruise Line is not the cheapest cruise line out there.
No.
It is one of the more expensive cruise lines out there, whether you're getting an inside stateroom or a concierge veranda with a butler.
Yep.
Like DCL is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get what you pay for.
Yes.
Now, we have not cruised on another cruise line. We've toured another ship.
Mm-hmm.
And we know we've had discussions with travel agents and lots of other folks who have cruised on other cruise lines. You get what you pay for with Disney Cruise Line.
They don't nickel and dime you with food.
Right.
You don't pay extra unless you are doing the specific adult restaurant Palos.
Right.
That is an additional fee. But your food is included. Your rotational dining is included. You don't pay extra for that. You do pay extra for drinks, for alcoholic drinks.
Alcohol. Yep.
They do not have a drink package unless you're doing a wine package, which is one of the unfortunate things. I wish they had a drink package, but they don't.
Right.
They have wine and beer type stuff.
Yep.
And we can go over some of the other things that we learned about beer packages and beer tokens at another time too.
Right. We didn't do that on this cruise.
Nope, we didn't know about it.
Nope.
Placeholders must do if you think you're going to go again. The least expensive cruise is the least expensive rate for a cruise is opening day.
Yes.
Prices.
Yes.
Prices that they release on opening day. That is going to be your least expensive option for booking a cruise.
Alicia, what is opening day?
Opening day is when they release the next round of itineraries for the year. They do it twice a year.
No, more than that. I think it's 3 times a year.
3 times a year.
Welcome to an edit. We did some research to make sure that we weren't going to say the wrong thing. There are 3 releases of itineraries a year. Alicia, could you tell them when those itinerary releases are?
Usually around September, October timeframe, they release winter for the following year and a half. So in 2019, in September 2019, they announced the January through May 2021 itineraries.
Right. So they're usually 18 to 24 months ahead.
And they do this 3 times a year. When they release these itineraries, it's usually a week or so before they start going on sale. And when they go on sale, it's going to differ based on when you can book, on how many cruises you've taken. If you've never taken a cruise before, you get to book 5 days after everyone else.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or we just look at their website. They'll tell you when you can start booking for each release.
Yeah. And that is opening day. Opening day prices are when they release availability to book cruises.
Right.
That's always going to be the least expensive option.
Right.
Is on opening day.
As time goes on and cruises start filling up, the law of supply and demand kind of kicks in and the prices can fluctuate. Mm-hmm. It's just like booking an airline ticket. If you can book your airline ticket, 11 months in advance, that's kind of your cheapest rate. If you want to book your airline ticket a few days in advance, we all know you're going to pay through the roof for that.
Yeah.
The cruise industry and Disney Cruise Line is effectively the same way. If you know you want to cruise, the cheapest rates are going to be as soon as you can book after those dates are announced. Yeah. And the prices can fluctuate hundreds of dollars per person.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just book early and book often.
And you can use a placeholder.
Yes.
To still get that opening day rate as long as you call opening day and use that placeholder.
Or work with a travel agent.
Yes.
And have them work with you and get that opening day price secured.
Yeah. And if you do use a travel agent, which we highly recommend, once you get the placeholder, you can actually talk to the cast member on the ship and have it tied to the travel agent, or you can do it afterwards. It just has to be done within 30 days, transferring that to a travel agent so they can take care of it for you.
Right. Travel agents are, used to be everybody used a travel agent for everything. Mm-hmm. Today, it's more of a kind of a self-service economy where we're used to booking our own airline flights and this and that and the other thing. But travel agents, especially when you're doing a Disney trip, you've got multiple modes of transportation. You've got multiple resort options. You have all sorts of different variables, times of year, prices. Travel agents can really help you out and have a fantastic trip set up for you that is going to be amazing. They know all of these tips and tricks. They know more than we do. They're involved in these things every day. And the cool thing is you're not going to pay any more for using that travel agent.
Yeah, we don't pay travel agents.
Right.
Disney pays travel
Disney
agents.
pays the travel agents. Or
whatever vacation type you're doing, the hotels will pay the travel agents.
Right.
You do not pay anything for a travel agent.
Right.
And the other nice thing about travel agents is they will sit on hold for you.
Yes.
You don't have to stay on the phone trying to manage reservations for hours if it's a very busy day. Travel agents have that all set for you.
Right. And some travel agents, and the ones that we've worked with, the folks that we've worked with, and I know others do as well, you can actually get an onboard credit just for working with them as a travel agency. So not only are you not spending any more money to use a travel agent, you're actually getting effectively kind of a discount.
Yeah, you get shipboard credit.
Right.
We've had that where it's been a couple $100.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice.
Yes. I think the other kind of pro tip around Disney cruising that I want to bring up, or maybe not a pro tip, but just awareness, is that a lot of those cast members that are on board, that are taking care of your stateroom, that are getting your food and drink for dinners, those folks are partially or in large part paid through gratuities. And the gratuity system on Disney Cruise Line has changed a bit since we first started. It used to be, how do I want to say it? Highly suggested, but not required. And these days, and for several years now, it's been, gratuities are automatically built into your stateroom bill, if you will. It will be basically an onboard expense.
You can take it off if you talk to customer service. I highly recommend you do not do that.
Yeah.
If you go to talk to customer service about gratuities, go to double the gratuity.
Yes.
We always do that. We double the gratuities for our cast members on the ship because just the amount of things that they do, they make it so magical for us.
Yes. So just be aware that there is the one extra fee that's not part, if you will, that's not part of the rack rate that you are signing up for, is gratuities for your room host, for your assistant server, your server, and the head server. I think that's...
If you order drinks from a bar, there's a gratuity included on that as well.
Yes. Or gratuity line? It's not included. It's just...
It depends on where you get it on the ship.
Okay, that's
fair. Some of
fair.
them are included. Yeah.
That's fair. And you can always, just like go to a regular restaurant, if you're, at the pool bar or whatever, you can always add a couple bucks more on if you want. Concierge is different. With those other roles, they have a recommended, kind of built-in gratuity rate.
Yes.
Right. So
they don't for concierge.
Just do some research online. It's really, there's no good information on how much you should tip your concierge host.
Yeah.
All I can say is be generous. These people, the concierge hosts are just amazing and really do a lot for you and your stay.
And we'll talk about that another time.
Yes.
We did a last minute port upgrade to a concierge for one of our cruises.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to find how much you should tip concierge. I found something somewhere and I wrote it down because I was like, I'm not going to be able to find this again. What I have found just from my research was concierge tips are per room, not per person. A lot of the your other tips for servers and whatnot are going to be per person per day. So what I have in my notes here is $150 for a 3 to 4 day on concierge, $300 for a 7 day. Now your mileage may vary. Tip as you are able, and if you're able to do more, do more.
Yep. Absolutely. Again, cast members are what makes Disney go around. Cast members are the power of magic. That's where the pixie dust comes from, is from their hard work and efforts and amazing attitudes and taking care of you.
And they're people too. They all have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
Just treat them with respect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be nice.
Be nice. Be kind.
Be kind. Absolutely. I think that about wraps it up for our first trip.
Yes.
Yeah. So we will keep going with these. Our next trip report will be coming up next week.
I think it's December 2010 is our next one, which was another cruise.
Yes, it was a Christmas time cruise.
We did spend some time in the parks as well.
Yeah.
And did our very first Very Merry.
Yes. Yeah. It was fun.
Yep.
It was absolutely fun. It was cold. It
was
fun. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for listening, and we will tell you all about it next time.
Absolutely. As always, if you have questions or comments, please reach out to us via email. It's podcast@adventures and mousecapades.com.
And you can follow us on social at Our Mousecapades.
Yep, that's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Face.
Insta-face-twit. Insta-twit. Yes.
Yes.
Socials.
All of the things.
Absolutely.
And again, we are not travel agents, and while we can offer our opinions and suggestions, we do recommend working with a travel agent to procure your perfect vacation.
Indeed. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you again hopefully next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.